Welcome back everybody, Automotive Inc. Today we're going to do one of these little leather wrap kits on the 2016 Ram. I'll link it down below on the Zon. It's about 50 bucks, but hopefully will dress up the steering wheel. But I see these all the time, and a lot of people complain that they're super hard. So we're going to actually put that to the test. Before you get started, make sure you smash the subscribe button and thumbs up and notification bell so when I'm posting new content. Head over to the channel and check all that stuff up. So this steering wheel is starting to show its age. It's a composite steering wheel. So we've already got it cleaned up, but it's just kind of bunged up, falling apart. And to replace the actual steering wheel, it's several $100s. We could definitely do that. But the rest of it looks pretty good. So we're going to actually see if this kit is worth the time and the effort. So it basically ends up by pushing it underneath there and then sewing it the rest of the way. Your kit comes with a piece of leather and your sewing tools and a QR code thing so you can watch a video if you'd like, and then a bunch of somewhat broken English down here. So first things first, you take it out of the box and make sure it lines up with all of your little areas where you're going to have to shove it underneath this plastic. So we're going to do that. I went ahead and took the two mounting screws. There's two Phillips head screws right here in these little holes. Take those out so we can actually pick this up a little bit. Now I was going to take the horn cap off and hopefully get it, but man, this is a pickle to try and get the airbag assembly off. You got to remove all these pieces and then try and pop it off from the back. I guess Ram doesn't want you messing with it yourself, so we're going to see if we can get it done this way. All right, so once you get out of there, you need to line up these little grooves here, if you will, and make sure it's a 50-50 split. Make sure you have your 3 and 9 lined up. These grooves aren't going to line up with this stitching, but this long part, you just want to basically give it a good eyeball. I mean, as long as it looks right here, and then lines up here, that's pretty much good. Their videos are awful. They give you QR codes, not one specific to this truck. This is a Chevy steering wheel. They're putting this on. Half the videos they don't put their double-sided tape, which is supposed to be on the backside here and here at these attachment points. One of the videos shows them putting it all the way around. I'm not sure what the benefit of that is. So yeah, I'm not sure which one it is, but we'll go ahead and cut the pieces off and put them at least right here and here like they're showing, and one down here. And then we basically start tucking it in underneath the plastic here, and we'll get started sewing it. All right, guys, so I will tell you this. I'm just going to show you the parts that they did that matter the most. So this was a super tough job to do, but I mean, it's well worth it in the grand scheme of things. I mean, you could see this turned out really well. You're not going to be able to tuck it on the back on the Ram steering wheel, but if you follow the directions up to how they have them and watch a video, you'll be okay. One thing they don't show you is how much string you need, because it's going to be double laced. So basically what you're going to do is measure this distance. So if you're doing this section, then take your string and make that 5 times longer. So this is the length of this right there. So do it 5 times. So you're going to go 1, and then you'll just stretch it out again and go 2, and then 3, and then 4, and then 5. Once you get done at the 5th one, you can make it just a smidge longer. Go ahead and snip it off. Let me cut it off. I'll show you. All right, so once you snip it off, you're going to take this and then you're going to tie this end into a small knot at the end. Don't waste too much of your string, though, tying your knot. All right, once you have your knot, then you're pretty much golden. They didn't tell you at first, so you have no idea how much string you're going to need because each section's done individually. So do that, and then you can go back to following their instructions, which is go up and through, and then you're literally going to go through every single hole and then pull it tight as you go. You're going to want a chiropractor too, because obviously without pulling the steering wheel, you're going to be contorting yourself into a, kind of a tight little ball, if you will. as you go through each one, but you can crank the steering wheel around and move it. Then once you get done with each section, tuck each section before you move on to the next one. And what I can tell you is when you finish it off, you're going to want to go down and tie your knot off on the inside, so that way it's not hanging loose here. And then, like I said, these other areas that are kind of just sticking up, you can kind of work them down as you go. At first, it's going to be like, wow, it's all wonky and up. So what I found on this top side was it was easier to overlay when I pulled it over, is put the back side underneath the front. And it made a nice looking finished product, guys. It made the steering wheel super beefy. Kind of reminds me of, you know, almost like a semi now. It looks good, and it's very nicely padded. How long it'll stay up over time, well, it's kind of like a cheap fix, and as long as you don't put Armor All on it and everything, I think that it's going to last probably several years. I clean everything with Johnson's baby soap, so I don't think it'll degrade. But overall, it just flashed up the whole interior, because this was really the ugliest piece. Was the steering wheel was so beat up. Well, besides the seats, they're kind of gross, but nice for 50 bucks. Again, I'll link it down below. They have multiple colors. If you get on there and you find one with racing stripes or whatever you want to do, just make sure it fits your specific vehicle year. Again, you really don't have to do a whole lot other than take that bottom piece off. I took the whole dash off because I was going to pull the airbag and try and do it that way, but I'm glad I didn't, because that would be a pain in the butt. As always, guys, make sure you check out the links, subscribe, and come back for the next day of work on this bad boy as we bring it back to its glory. Catch you on the next one.